contributed to go. We have Darcy, Patricia, and now we're going to have somebody that may have traveled the farthest to get here, from Brisbane, Australia. Chris Lynch, come on up, Chris. Let me see if I need to adjust that for you. You need to go up a little bit? Yeah. Can you get it? Oh. Thank you. There you go.
Good evening. It's lovely to be here and to hear all your words. I am from, just in case the accent is unclear, I am from Australia. Although I have a US passport, I'm here to discover what that means. Travelling about for a bit. This is from this first one is from a series I did of Homo sapiens, and this one's called Homo viator, which is Latin for pilgrim. Homo viator. A pilgrim is a beggar who nurtures blisters, is not afraid of the rain, in fact, welcomes, as one put it, being bashed flat by heaven. The pilgrim is not in a hurry to arrive. Her grave is not going anywhere, and will be ready for her however long the road. Every stream quenches her thirst, and every river is a baptism in humility. When she arrives, she has forgotten who she was and why life was so hard in the suburbs. If you ask her the meaning of life, she will smile softly and pass you her walking stick. This is a new poem. It's my first poem completely written in America. Love story. I decided to write you instead. Today was a sweet bitter day. I think it's the new Sappho that uses that word. I don't remember exactly, but it's stuck. So anyway, I went on a Tinder date this morning. Funny how it's not just a date. Lupita was lovely, a little self-conscious about her age. I gave her permission to photograph and post about me. We had the Tinder experience conversation, what do you want out of life conversation, and gave each other stern advice between fits of laughter and the crepes. Apparently I should swipe right more often. At the indie bookstore I almost bought the Lydia Davis because I know I'd like her, but I remembered the ounces and got a couple of lighter books, including 642 tiny things to write about. Later at the zoo I sat with the giraffes. Did I ever tell you when I was 4 I wanted to be one? My ex-student gave me the tour. Most of the animals are rescues from homes and circuses. After work we went to her parents' house for hors d'oeuvres. Don't judge me, but I had to Google the spelling just now. And I met Alexa the AI, who crisply told me when sunset would be. That done, we went to upmarket Mexican and Fenton's Creamery since 1894. It was packed because famous. Did you know it was in that Pixar film about the old guy in the balloon? Her parents were lovely and funny and smart. I could see where her perfectionism and overwhelming anxiety came from. Also her kindness. It actually wasn't that awkward. They were taking me to dinner to thank me for how I dealt with the plagiarism thing. They clearly all loved each other. You know, the view from Grizzly Lookout was night blazing orange and pinpricked, with the fog coming in, the bridges spanning the huge negative void of the bay. On the winding drive down the old V-Dub, the nav computer was twitchy and took me the long way. And I got thinking, as you do driving at night in a strange city on the wrong side of the road, that after all, Justine might have mailed or called or even texted, hey, guess what, before declaring herself in a relationship on Facebook. And why was that even bothering me when I hadn't been thinking about her much either? It wasn't like we were in love or even monogamous. Maybe it showed that I'd been vulnerable with her, but she hadn't been vulnerable with me, except maybe that once. And how hard is it just to be with somebody? And then I realised I'm crossing the Golden Gate. When I got home, I felt like calling you. Brisbane's home to the Queensland Poetry Festival, which is considered one of the best poetry festivals in Australia. And we were talking before about getting paid for poetry. If you want to get paid to come to Australia for poetry, then next year apply for the end of this year apply for the Queensland Poetry Festival, because they get North Americans out to the festival. It's actually on in another week or two. I haven't been to your big waterfall, but I'll just finish the short little poem that's about my favourite waterfall in Brisbane. It's up on the escarpment overlooking the coast. You can see the Gold Coast, big skyscrapers of the Gold Coast down on the coastline, and it's kind of high up on the ridge line. It's got lots of big eucalyptus trees, gum trees, and then you look down into rainforest. And the waterfall is called Pearling Brook. So this is called Grief on Pearling Brook. Pearling Brook falls into the abyss, the mist, the rising tumult of frogs. After the sun sets, memory attenuates into fireflies. Moonlit gums shed long strips of bark, hanging the night in old nooses. Thanks.
Please come back again. We're going to have 2 more readers tonight. I want to just make a couple of announcements. Christopher's workshop called The Work, which takes place right next door at Niche, will reconvene on the 12th of September at noon. Right? Noon to 2:30 on the 12th of September. So if that's of interest to you, you just need to show up. You don't need to pre-register. And next month, our featured reader will be the Washington State Poet Laureate, Elizabeth Austin. So all invited, and that will be September the 10th, 7 o'clock here. Okay, next we're going to hear from Erica. Come on up, Erica. Is this your first time reading here?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not her first time reading
No,
here. She's
it's
done
been
it
a
before.
while.
But let's do it. Let's give her a hand. Yeah.
This one's called Regret. The only regret I'd ever have in life is to have never touched another soul. Bodies are liars, not like the wildflowers along the empty highways. Run through them, set another free, and you'll know what magic is. Break the illusion of skin, like when I kissed yours, when I ran naked in the rain, felt another's pain. There is a certain spell that is spoken between two who share a laugh, and that is why the best people are called insane. This one's called Wildfire. You condemn me, for I am desolate at times. When the lightning strikes, it sets me ablaze, and I am heartbroken because it is a love of mine. Screaming, hurting, abuse, scars. Have you ever seen a forest burning? Haunted by ghosts of fawns and foxes, their spirits on fire. The trees barren, charred and black, empty. You reject me in my bare form. But have you ever seen a forest restoring? Resilience, wisdom, empathy, passion, filled with butterflies, wild violets, and newborn rabbits. My pain will be beautiful in the end. I am the legacy of the wildfire. And this is just a short one. It's called I Was Born. I was born into a life of chaos. It is no wonder that in the stillness of nature, I see God.
And it's my pleasure to introduce our last reader tonight, Chris Luna. Come on up, Chris.
Hi.
Hi, Chris.
I mentioned that I love my awesome wife. So, Tony and I are going to leave on Sunday for our honeymoon, and our honeymoon is going to be a road trip California in a reading tour. Right now we have lined up San Francisco, Monterey, and Berkeley. I'm working on a couple of others, but that's going to be, we're going to have a good time. We're going to be gone for about 3 weeks. We wanted to make sure that we did this before we took off. So I'm going to read a poem that's for Tony, since she was kind enough to marry me. It's called, I Got a Woman, helps me with my swollen glands, fills me up, makes me complete. Stand by me, amuse me, and I'll amuse you. If you'll be my June Carter, I'll be your Lizard King. Together we'll work it out. No need to worry about a thing. A couple of kids making up for lost time. Just like the Mormons, we're stockpiling. I'm milking her for the apocalypse and trying to remain humble, even as she causes my head to swell. When you find a classy lady, knows her way around a couch, got to hold on to her. Never let her go. This life is a poem. This life is a song. Each moment is vibrant, expansive, and long. Holy shit, I'm floating. God damn, am I high. Time stretches when you look me in the eye. And I'm gonna love you till the day I die. You can be my June Carter, and I'll be your Lizard King. Stick with me, love. We'll laugh and dance and sing. So, just going to read one more. This is for my friend David Magdalene in Windsor, California, we've done a lot of collaborating together. We've done books together. We brought him here to Vancouver, Washington. And we're going through kind of a rough patch, and I don't know whether I'm going to see him on this trip or not, so I've decided that all of the readings that I do associated with this honeymoon, which I include tonight's reading as one of those, I'm going to read something by David or for David. So this is called Clearly Damaging, as told by David Magdalene. So this is me kind of writing down one of the stories that David told me. Coming into Bodega Bay, location for The Birds. Schoolhouse they built for the movie stood for 40 years before they tore it down. Hitch tortured Tippy for a week to shoot the climactic attack in the bedroom. Then, on Marnie, propositioned her. Hitch had some issues, had some baggage there. Tippy didn't put out. Hitchcock personally supervised the wardrobe of his leading ladies. Dressing a woman is the same thing as undressing a woman. It's okay to be a little weird, as long as it's not clearly damaging. Did you do the damage? Is the shoe intact, or has it been brutalized? I wish I could jump in a time machine and go back in time and ask Hitchcock about the ending of The Birds, because we watched it again recently, and it's one of those that just craps out at the end, has no ending really. It's like a Saturday Night Live sketch. You know, they didn't know for 40 years how to end a sketch, they still do. That's what The Birds is like, a great movie with this amazing climax and so anyway. Yeah, so I'll probably write a sequel to that about Tarantino and the feet. So if you don't know about Tarantino's thing about feet, a quick Google search will get you there. So thank you very much for being here with us, for your time, your poetry, and your energy. Thanks again to Peggy Barnett for a great lecture. Please remember to settle up with them next door and be kind to them, tip them. And also, we'll be here again on September 10th with Elizabeth Austin. And what Tony didn't mention, it's on the flyer that's there at the back, is that Elizabeth Austin is also going to be giving a free workshop the afternoon of the reading. So, and that happens at the library. So if you want the information about that, it's on the flyer. And if you're here for the first time and want to be informed about events like this in Portland and Vancouver in the future, we've got a place where you can give us your email if you'd like to get in our newsletter. So thanks again for being here. We'll see you next month when we get back from California.